No, I did it. That was loud. Sorry, everybody. Welcome to stream. I'm Jordan here at Wednesday Night Warhammer. We're gonna review some Tyranid Army lists. I'm so happy that you guys are in here. This is nope. It's not muted. Is it muted? No, it's not muted. We do this every single week. I take lists posted from the community, and we review them. Members get a little bit of a bump, of course, in priority as just a thanks for supporting the channel, and we have a great time here. We actually have quite a bit of lists today. I think we have 9. In addition, our super chat goal for today, if you're feeling like supporting the stream and also seeing more content, this is a good one for you. If we get 15 super chats of any kind, I'm going to grab 5 more lists from our post, and we're just going to keep the stream going. Who knows if we reach that goal very quickly. Maybe we extend and we do a secondary goal of even more. Maybe we trap me online for forever reviewing lists. I don't know. It could be a good idea. We'll see what happens. Let's catch up with chat a little bit. Been keeping an eye out for Broodlord and Gene Stealers. Your LGS never seems to have them. Dang. There are other sites that you can go. I know. I ask them if they can order them for you. I would be surprised if they weren't able to order them. I don't know. Or shop around. Flowers. Where do we post lists for review? And what format, please? What an excellent question. Let me see if my screen is set up for this. I might be a little bit, all you need to do, what's up, enemy? Good to see you, man. So we can go here, boom. I'm going to have to reformat a little bit, but I think it is a good question to have. So you go to our channel, boop. I'll just go like this, doing this on the fly. View our channel. Look, this is hit subscribe if you haven't already. But then you go to posts right here, and then we do have a pre-order going up for the Horus Heresy box. But anyways, all you need to do is go to this post. Hey everyone, this is where you should post lists if you like your list to be viewed. Just post a comment here, copy and paste in any format that you want, as long as it's legible and everything. And then I will put it in the queue. Flower. So that is a great question. Does anyone actually play Horus Heresy? Yes. I would be lying if I said that I play Horus Heresy. And I would also be lying if I said that I knew someone that played Horus Heresy. So, sorry about that. Anyways, let's move on to our first list. Excited to be here, everyone. Thank you for liking the stream and all those cool things. First up, we've got Soul of the Dark Sun. Our legend Nyx donated and bumped him up through the queue so that he could be reviewed this week. He says, "Hello, Jordan. This is my first attempt at my own list. I started the hobby around February and discovered your channel right away. Incredible. I don't have a very large selection of models yet, nor do I feel I need to play competitively, so I thought I'd create a list with 2,000 points that I'd like to work towards first. It's nothing exciting, but I think it lays a good foundation to get into list building. I would appreciate your feedback and tips. Greetings, Soul." Thank you, Soul. Soul, you're a real one. Thank you for submitting the list. Let's take a look. I think we have this core of characters, in my opinion, an Invasion Fleet is pretty strong. Whoa! Alex, thank you so much. Alex is an Etsy creator on the Hoarding Dragon. He donated some really cool dice bags for us. Alex, I haven't seen my buddies yet, but I will absolutely I will be giving them to them on Wednesday when I see them before stream. So, and we'll show them off a little bit on stream Wednesday. But thank you again for sending them. If you want some really cool dice bags, check out the Hoarding Dragon on Etsy. There's some pretty cool stuff, and a great member of our community as well. Thank you, Alex. But yeah, so I think this core group of characters is very good. Like you have the Hive Tyrant with adaptive biology, and then you have double melee, which I think is pretty sweet. I did something blasphemous, everybody. I glued one of my Hive Tyrant's weapon options. I know. But I glued it in melee. Yeah, that's pretty controversial. But let's take a look at the rest of this. One thing that is standing out is the Winged Tyranid Prime. But, I mean, I think it can be... It can be used well, you know. We'll see. We got double Gargoyles, a Biovore, double Exocrine, Gene Stealer's Lictor, a Neuralictor, a Tyrannofex, Von Ryan's Leapers, and 6 Zoanthropes. Sweet. No, this is great. Yeah. Soul, this is great. This is a really good list. Because you have really good shooting threats. You have mission scoring. You have a whole lot of stuff. The only thing that I would say, like, the biggest thing to do, your main problem is deciding between models or just taking enhancements. I think at this point right now, you're great. What I would just say is just delete the Winged Tyranid Prime and get a Hormagaunt squad. I think that's pretty good because you want something to hold back, you know, any kind of melee threat from all of your shooty goodness. The Von Ryans, they're fine. Yeah. Everybody's got a Tyranid Prime right now, you know, because of the Leviathan and everything. I think he's okay. Like, you bring him in for Deep Strike, needs a Parasite, Alex. That would be pretty sweet. But yeah, just my knee-jerk is this guy converts pretty easily to Hormagaunts. I also think they're a really cool, like, sculpt. I think Games Workshop did a great job with the new sculpt. Ooh, I did that very weird. So, I mean, that would be a clean swap. I've been tempted to go down to 2 Exocrines. The list that I'm playing probably for ATC still has triple Exocrine and a Norn, believe it or not. But, I don't know. I guess the 6-man Zoanthropes kind of shores up the leaving out the 3rd Exocrine. So you could probably still like reserve 1 Exocrine, 1 Gargoyle, and then have everything else on the table. Maybe a Lictor too for a free rapid ingress. That could be cool. I like this list. This is good. Be careful with your Von Ryans. You know, they die pretty quickly. But they're pretty good at screening as well as doing secondaries and everything like that. So should be sweet. So I will get some Parasite within the next Combat Patrol magazine in a few weeks. Can somebody like explain to me, like I'm 5, how the Combat Patrol magazine works? Because it seems just too good to be true, in my opinion. Is it like a really low subscription rate? Is it like is it random what you're getting? I think it's only in the United Kingdom, right? I don't think us Americans can get the Combat Patrol, but yeah. It was available here? Dang. You get 8 full Combat Patrol boxes? Holy crap. How much was it, David? Or anybody? You're in Germany? That's cool, man. That's awesome. All right. Once again, thank you, Soul. This is a great list. I play a handful of games of it and then, like, do some tweaks. See if you're missing that 3rd Exocrine. You know, if you can get a hold of Hormagaunts, I'm sure you can. Zoanthropes, the only thing, Zoanthropes could be a little bit slow, but with the Hive Tyrant, the advance and shoot would be great. Yeah, of course. Thank you for submitting the list. Like one version came with just combat trolls and another had quarterly bonus models. Quarterly. Geez, so this seems like a long-term commitment, I would think. It's crazy. Okay, cool. Moving right along. That was quick. It was too good of a list. Before we move along, I need to remind you guys, if you go on Secondhand Geek, we're giving away 3 Norn Emissaries. All you need to do is create a listing, sell like maybe some Hormagaunts so that Soul could get a cheap set of Hormagaunts or maybe a Parasite of Mortrex or something. No, that's probably too precious. All you have to do is create a listing on Secondhand Geek, and then you're entered to win a Norn Emissary. And we're giving away 3 of them, so there's going to be 3 winners. So if you haven't done that, I highly recommend you do it, because it's, you know, you could sell something that you don't need anymore, and then you could get a Norn Emissary. Owen, no, don't list Candyland. I've been told we need to narrow it to Warhammer materials, but that was pretty funny, dude. All right, moving right along. Good one, Owen. Let's see if I can do this. Beep. Okay, cool. Ninja Dwarf Gaming. What a great YouTube name. And also thank you for being a member, man. He says, hello, Mr. Jordan Tyranid. Dang, I didn't realize you guys knew my last name. It's kind of scary. My local group is going to be starting a 1,500 point knockout tournament league. Not fully decided, soon. And I'd like to have a vibe check on it, as it's the first 1,500 point list I've made. Interesting. I've got no qualms or any changes you make, but I do prefer the big stompy monsters. Hell yeah, dude. And to explain their addition, the Tyrant Guard, Zoan's Neurotyrant, were kind of loosely added to make the Swarmlord less squishy, which might only be squishy due to a skill issue, and to spread synapse if needed. Okay, sweet. We didn't take a look at this last week, did we? It just seems, maybe I don't like go in depth when I see people have commented, but I do look at them a little bit. We're Crusher Stampede. We have Swarmlord. We have Neurotyrant, and then we go straight into 1 squad of Gargoyles, Biovore, 2 Lictors, 3 Tyrant Guard, 3 Zoanthropes, Exocrine, Norn Emissary, Tyrant Effects. Okay, cool. I think it's fine. I think it's an okay list. I think there's one thing that you could do just to make it a little bit better. If we're Crusher Stampede, we kind of want to lean a little bit more into Crusher Stampede. Also, 1,500 points. Do I have to list something, or can I buy something? This specific giveaway is for listing. I think buying things is a little bit harder to track, but that might be a good idea in the future. Before Crusher Stampede, there's one thing that really kind of sticks out to me that I think would just be a really easy thing for you to do. Is I don't love the Tyrant Guard Zoanthropes. I think we want to lean all the way into monsters if we can. So I would recommend getting rid of those guys and then just putting a Maliceptor. I always misspell Maliceptor. And that's 170 points, and then you have 10 points left over. Another thing you could do if you don't own a Maliceptor I like the Maliceptor first because it can walk and hang out with a Norn Emissary. Give it -1 to hit when they're buddied up. I call it walking the dog. That's a pretty good way to do things. Also, when a Maliceptor is damaged at all, it hits on 2s. It's very strong in both of its shooting and its melee profile. So I'd be pretty excited about a Maliceptor in Crusher Stampede. Another thing you could look at is Screamer Killers. You know, if you had a Screamer Killer, that would be 140 points, I believe. And then with the 40 points left over, you could then put in a Pyrovore just as some kind of secondary actions or just having an additional unit. But that's kind of where I'd go. I'd be interested. I haven't played a 1,500 point game in 10th edition yet, so I'd be interested to see how it feels. Could be interesting. Yeah, but I would probably swap these guys out, the Tyrant Guard and the Zoanthropes. My thing with the Swarmlord is I actually think he's less durable with the Tyrant Guard because of 2 main reasons. One, he's way harder to hide. Right? Because you have 3, are they 50 mils or 40 mils? I think they're 50 mils. You have 3 50 millimeter bases. Yes, I just have Tyrant Guard directly behind me. You have 3 50 millimeter bases that also have to fit behind terrain or up against a wall or something. And that actually adds quite a bit of their footprint. In addition, they are only toughness 8. So Swarmlord's T10. So there could be a point where it's way easier to activate into the Tyrant Guard Swarmlord brick because of that. So, yeah, who knows? So I would rather, there's, maybe you go all 6 or 0 in Crusher Stampede. I think that's probably where I would go. I'm leaning more towards 0. I think the Tyrant Guard combo can be kind of fun, but I don't think it's the best. So that's what I would do. Either a Maleceptor or just another kind of frontline monster to go up the field, attack, and do some things. Maleceptor, I hardly know her. Jordan, the Zoanthropes with a Neurotyrant become monsters as well as the Tyrant Guard with the Swarm one. I know. And that is a good point. I just still think that the efficiency that you want in Crusher Stampede is probably best as like singleton monsters as opposed to that. Because Zoanthropes don't really benefit too much from the +1 to hit. And especially if you have a 3-man Zoanthrope squad, you can't get to below half while still having Zoanthropes in the squad. So they don't ever get additional benefit to the +1 to wound. They do get the additional OC, but me personally, I'm not running Neurotyrant and Zoanthropes up the field to like contest an objective very early on. So, yeah. And here, speaking of the devil, Ozolith. You're right here. Ozolith. Thank you so much for being a member. Appreciate it. And Ozolith, this is a goofy one. They say, if Legends were back in the list, what do you think of this? So this is Legends. This is Crusher Stampede, 2,000 points. I think it would be pretty sweet. I have 2 Scythe Hierodulls that have not seen the light of day, so I'm kind of sad about that. But let's look at this. We have Old One Eye, Biovore. That's it. Just Old One Eye, Biovore, 2 barbed Hierodulls, 2 Carnifexes, followed by another 2 Carnifexes, and then 2 Scythe Hierodulls. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. And you're exactly at 2,000 points. Let me see. What I would do is I do like the scheme of it. You know, you're just playing dumb dudes doing dumb things. I wonder if we can, like, the 1-2-man squad of Carnifexes with Old One Eye. It's kind of memey. I mean, this entire list is very memey. We're playing Legends units, of course. But I would probably... You could do... I'm trying to see if we can fit 2... Honestly, these 2, I think they're probably better as like 2 solo Carnifexes in Crusher Stampede. They're pretty interesting. The 1-2-man squad with Old One Eye, you probably want to run as the shooty Dakafexes, in my opinion. Because that's going to help with just a little bit more shooting. Barb Hierodull is kind of sweet, though. All the Carnifexes, yeah, that's right. All the Carnifexes. But I actually think that like singleton Carnifexes are not terrible in Crusher Stampede. Because if they get hit at all, +1 to hit, they hit on 3s. And then it's hard to kill them. So if they get below half, then they're also +1 to wound. So it's kind of sweet. So, I mean, obviously this is a very memey list. I don't have too much to go off of it. You know, I would say if you're playing this with a couple of friends that allow Legends, I'd probably just split these 2 Carnifexes because you need more things to do, like actions or whatever. But, yeah, seems sweet. Thanks again for the support, Ozolith. A pretty cool list, man. All right. Moving right along. We're zipping through lists today. Our Super Chat goal, again, is if we get 15 Super Chats of any kind, memberships will also count as 2 Super Chats. I'm going to just grab 5 more lists, and we'll just keep going. Maybe the next time we do even more, but we will see. Let's take a look at what Yoda in the Matrix has to say. Man, that's the crossover that I didn't know that I needed, but now I need it, for sure. They say, hi Jordan, picked up Warhammer a little over a year ago and started with T-Sons. And as I started diving deeper into YouTube, I found this channel and the videos you do on the NIDS, and I realized I really wanted to be part of the Swarm. That's awesome, man. This is my Invasion Fleet list from some tournaments I'm going to. So far, it's worked great for me, but I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. Thank you. Cool. Excellent list name. Eat 'em up. Very cool. Our Invasion Fleet, we have a Hive Tyrant and we have a Neurotyrant. Those are our only 2 characters. Seems cool. We have 2 Hormigons. Nice. Biovore, triple Exocrine. double Lictor, double Maliceptor, wow, Pyrovore, Raveners. Okay, this is from the before time, so we'll have to fix that a little bit. And then double. Awesome, Ozolith. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Double Tyrannifex, and then a Von Ryan's Leapers. Okay, cool. So one thing that we want to do. So thinking about when this list was submitted, it seems pretty good. You know, double Maliceptor is definitely a stat check that some people are going to have a hard time going into, especially if you have triple Exocrine, double Maliceptor, double Tyrannifex. Seems like it could be pretty good. Now the question that we have is, do we want to try and jam? I know. What the heck? That's right, Jacob. Do we want to try and rearrange and jam the 5-man Raveners in? Another thing to note is we don't have like a counterpunch unit. This is just a big old shooting line. I guess Maliceptors can kind of counterpunch, but not really. So what would be like a cool... I do like Gene Stealers. I don't think we have the points for Gene Stealers because we're going like full in. If we dropped Von Ryan's and the Raveners, that would be 145 points. So what we could do, I mean, we could do a Screamer Killer. I don't think a Screamer Killer is very good though. It's tough because if we want like a counterpunch unit, then we get into too many things. But what I like to do, what my scheme is I like, if I'm putting like a Maliceptor out, or if I'm putting like a Norn Emissary or something out, then I want my opponent to really not want to charge the Maliceptor. They're going to be -1 to hit when they're in combat as well. And my idea is always setting up something to heroic behind the Maliceptor to make it like really annoying for them to activate into. Things that I like doing that with are like the Gene Stealers. Like a Norn would be kind of crazy. We don't have the points for the Norn, but yeah, I think it's good. I just think it's like tough. Like, what do we do with the Raveners? What do we do? Like a 1 of Pyrovore is actually pretty good because we have double Maliceptor. So making sure that AP2 is actually AP2 is really nice. The double Tyrannifex seems pretty sweet as well. You're just playing kind of Monster Mash, and I'm here for it, honestly. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we probably either combine these two units to be the new Raveners. That would be, and then we would have 15 points left over. So we get like perfectly adapted to the Neurotyrant. Or what we could do, I said 145, right? Yeah. So that would be 100 points. We're exactly at 2,000 points as well, right? Okay, so bottom line, we're getting rid of the Raveners because they literally don't exist anymore. We've got 75 points to play with. Where do we send lists? Go onto our channel itself, and then after you subscribe, go to the post section. And then there's a post that says, hey, this is where you submit your Tyranid list. Go ahead and post on that. Just comment and copy and paste whatever format that you use for creating armies or whatever. Just do that, okay? Ooh, I gotta change my goal. My goal's running out. That's not accurate. Okay, cool. We have 2 lictors. We do have 2 lictors. We have 2. I'm pretty much on like 2 scoring, 2 chaff units, and then 2 like lone ops in my invasion fleet, but that might be too little. We could also upgrade these 2 Hormagaunts to gargoyles. That's what I like to do. So if we do that, we have 35 points left over. Let's do that. This is what I would do. Gargoyles times 10. Gargoyles times 10. You have 35 points left over. And then Does that give us room to do anything? I'm not sure it does. Oh, yeah. Enemy says, guys, don't forget the like. Liking the stream is great. Maybe we don't do that. 75 points. I'm just not really sure what the Von Ryans are doing besides... I mean, I guess they screen a little bit more for these guys. Maybe we just, like, put in another screening unit. That might be just good. These guys are going to be Hormagaunt still. I went back on my word. Hormagaunts. Do melee warriors? Ooh, that would be a spicy meatball. I think we just do like another squad of Hormagaunts. And then we just kind of call it a day. Or, man, fitting in those Raveners actually might be good. This is 145 points. Okay, so we could cut Raveners and Von Ryans, right? And then we would be at 145 points. And then we have Raveners at 125, and then we use the last 20 points to upgrade one of the gargoyles. I mean, upgrade one of the Hormagaunts to a gargoyle squad. I think I like that. That's a clean 2K. No, it's not. Because this guy went down 30 points. Dang it. Alright. So we would have 145. We have 175. Oh my gosh. What if we just make him do triple Maleceptor? That would be kind of sweet. So rewind all those changes. Triple Maleceptor seems kind of abusive, right? That seems like it could be really annoying. So we've cut the Raveners, we've cut the Von Ryan Sleepers, and that's 145 plus 30 that we get from the discounted Hive Tyrant. Dude. Triple Maleceptor. I think that's pretty gross. A Mucilid Spore. Wow, chat's really popping off here. That's funny. No! Okay, hold up. Hold up. Beep, boop. I gotta redo my super chat thing because I am bad at setting up super chat goals. Beep. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think triple Maleceptor, like, this is gross. Triple Maleceptor, triple Exocrine, double Tyrannifex. Sure. It's good, you know? If you could also cut the Pyrovores. I'm aura farming over here. You could cut the Pyrovores and make both of these gargoyles. Uh-oh, maybe I play this. This seems good. And then you could cut the Raveners to get more gargoyles. Okay, well, hold on, chat. No, but I like Gene Stealers. Okay, cool. Seems really good. Yeah, I like this. I like this. This seems like a cool list. Triple Maleceptor seems dope. I did reset the super chat goal, but we'll keep moving. If we end the stream early, that's fine. That's good. I get to hang out and eat my ramen. Have you guys ever had Boldak ramen? That's like my favorite ramen. We have another list from Weinstrassendrohne. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. He says, "Hey man, I've already submitted a list 5 months ago. Thought your feedback was really useful. Awesome, thank you. I enjoy your content. I'm here torn between two lists. One of them I want to submit was a super major 5 games GT. What are your takes on these lists, and which would you take? Additional information, GW layouts with GW terrain layouts 1 and 2 will be played. I think those are the best terrain layouts. So that's pretty sweet. My gut tells me that Crusher Stampede might the go-to since the last GT with these terrain layouts were pretty shooty with many Imperial Knights. Gladius Space Marines, Double Oath is gross. I'm glad it's gone. Well, it's not actually gone. Yannari with their detachment. Chaos Demons with their potatoes. Invasion Fleet is standard. Crusher Stampede target is to bait the enemy and killing my Psychophage to trigger as many +1 hits as possible with auto explode. Interesting. I'd love to hear from you which list you'd pick and why. Okay, so I think this is also from the before time. So we got to think Raveners are not going to be in here. So we're going to have to do something with them. And then we have 30 extra points from the Hive Tyrant. But we have Broodlord with Perfectly Adapted, Hive Tyrant with Adaptive Biology, as you do, and double melee on the Hive Tyrant. Pretty cool. Then Neuro Tyrant. One squad of Gargoyles, pretty light on the scoring, I'd say. Biovore, Gene Stealers, a Lictor, and a Neurolictor. Okay. Then the Raveners. So I'm going to cut these guys and say we have 75 points. And I'm going to take a look at... Oops. I'm going to take a look at both lists, and we'll see which one we like want to heavily in-depth review. Then we can go from there. Cool. And then we have Zoanthropes. Double Exocrine, one Maleceptor, double Tyrannifex. Very cool. I do like, so the Gene Stealers are going to be really good to do the combo with, like, you have your Maleceptor posted up on an objective or something, and you have your Gene Stealers hiding in it in safety to heroic if anybody charges the Maleceptor. On GW Layout 1, you can do that very easily behind the Dorito of safety. And on GW Layout 2, you can do that as well. Let me see if I can... let me see if I can pull that up real quick. How's everybody's day going? You guys chilling? Having a good day? I hope you had a great weekend. I hope it wasn't like a short one. All right, now let me see what OBS has. Okay, sweet. This is perfect. All right. Quick presentation. Okay, so you have your Maleceptor here in the center. Normally there's an objective right there. You have your Maleceptor or like a durable unit right there. And then your Gene Stealers deployed here. They scout here. And then you can have them hide pretty good right here behind this wall, an inch off the wall, of course, on either side. And then if anything tries to charge your Maleceptor, then the Gene Stealers can heroic. And then they're -1 to hit twice from the Gene Stealers as well as the Maleceptor. And it can be pretty tough. You can do that. I'm planning on doing that with like a Norn Emissary in a tournament I'm going to pretty soon. Like a Norn here or Norn here. And then Gene Stealers can heroic there. Heroicing with Gene Stealers is very good. And then you can also pop them with the 5-up Feel No Pain. And then they're actually pretty durable. So it is a pretty good idea. That's kind of my strategy. Now, Layout 2. Layout 2, I often like... Let's make sure it's lined up. I often like to scout my Gene Stealers so they're behind this L right here on the bottom. There's often an objective right here. So you can threaten a counterattack here, you know, take people off the objective there. Or if they want to push into the center, then your Gene Stealers can counterattack this way as well. In most deployments, you should be able to, with an 8-inch scout, move directly into this pocket right there. And then you can counterattack here and counterattack here. And honestly, a lot of people will just not put anything over here, and your Gene Stealers just kind of stay here for a long time. But that's also very good, you know, because then you just have Gene Stealers hanging out. But yeah, good stuff. This is also a good place to threaten a heroic intervention in this terrain as well. Cool. That's how I like to do it. All right. Moving along. That was a brief sojourn, but I like talking about that stuff. Okay, cool. This list is sweet. I think with the 75 points, you probably want another chaff clearing unit. Oh, it's actually 105 points. Excuse me. Okay. And we can go back after we've dived into the Crusher Stampede and seeing which one we want. This list, Crusher Stampede, we have Hive Tyrant, again full melee, Narrow Tyrant, Hormagaunts, Biovore, Lictor, Neurogaunts. Interesting. Again, Raveners, so we're probably going to be up 75 points, which is good because he does have one Psychophage. We're going to be immediately up 105 points because of the Hive Tyrant reduction as well. And then we have to go down 15 because of the Psychophage. I still like your idea about the Psychophage, though. So, okay. So this list, right away, Again, I still think we need one more chaff unit squad. I'm not in love with Neurogons. I guess they can screen your backline, but oftentimes if you have like exocrines and stuff, like your shooting units are also going to be able to just almost by happenstance screen your backline. So there's two different things that I would think about doing with this Crusher Stampede list. Is you drop the Neurogons and you combine the 45 with the 95 points that we already have, and you just throw a third exocrine in. Seems fine. Also, since you have a Psychophage, there might be maybe you want like a one of Horror Specs or something. You could also do a one of Screamer Killer. Neurogods do hate me, man, and I'm fine with that. You know, mutual feelings are fine. Neurogons on site. They're fine. But I think like the Psychophage is good, but you might want to put one more melee threat in this list. This is pretty much all shooting. Like the Hive Tyrant is kind of, yeah, he's kind of good, but you don't really want to get him in to combat. I would probably say, what could we do if we dropped this? This is 140 points. 140 minus 65. Whoa! NG Reed, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Now that's 5. That's 5 out of our 15 super chats. Your LGS had a big 4th of July sale, BOGO half off, and I picked up 2 Exocrine kits. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. A Death Leaper and 2 Gargoyle squads. Wow, dude. What a haul, man. That's awesome. Thank you for the support. My super chat goal is not accurate. That's going to be 5 super chats. So we're a third of the way there. That is literally wild. I agree. Do a BOGO half off. That's quite a haul, man. That's awesome. Yeah, Jacob is PB and jellies. So you could do 140 minus 65 is 80 is 75. So that doesn't really get you anything great. Yeah, I'm probably in favor of just like combining these two. I mean, just slotting in gargoyles and having 10 points left over is honestly not a bad idea either. You're already at 2,800 points. Wow, dude. Good. I should do a day where I just like go through and see how many. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Wow, incredible. I appreciate it. Great to see you. 2 Horror Specs kits. Yeah. You have 10 points left over after this. And then I think you have like one of the enhancements in Crusher Stampede is 10 points, and then that's fine. But this seems sweet. Oh, and I do like how your triple Tyrant effects, one of them is Acid Spray, the other 2 are Rupture Cannons. Seems sweet. Out of the 2, if we're thinking about playing on layouts 1 and 2, I think I like Invasion Fleet. Because like we talked about, there's a couple of different places to hide with those melee threats. I mean, both are good options, honestly. Because you have good shooting lanes. My go-to is Invasion Fleet. But I think Crusher Stampede is fine as well. You have 105 points to play with here. I don't know what I would do. Oh, you probably... You know what actually could be cool? If you drop Perfectly Adapted and you have 120 points... And then you just do like a Psychophage. That's just like a one of... kind of annoying guy. Oh... You could, here's what you actually do, right? So you drop that, and then you convert this Neurolictor to a Lictor. Just, I rate Lictors way higher than Neurolictors right now. And then that's 140 points. And you can buy yourself a 3rd Exocrine. Seems pretty good. I like that. This is a lot of firepower with the Zoanthropes, Exocrines, Maleceptor, and Tyrant effects. I would probably go with this. It's almost like Crusher Stampede. If you think about it, like the main thing about Crusher Stampede is whenever they're wounded, they get +1 to hit, right? But if you think about it, with Invasion Fleet, if you're doing sustained hits, that means 6s create an additional hit. It's basically +1 to hit because there's one additional die result that is going to give you a hit as opposed to not. So, you know. John says, Neurolictors are really good into knights. Whole army is leadership 7, plus 1 to wound is huge. I agree. That is a pretty good, that's a very good argument to having a Neurolictor. I would agree with you on that. I also do think that this list is low on screening units. So maybe doing something with that points total that we just had to include, like a Hormagaunt squad, could be good as well. But thank you. I appreciate you submitting your list. It's pretty cool. Moving right along, Invictus says, hello, Jordan. First of all, thanks for your great content. Thank you for your great comment. Your videos help me a lot to understand the Tyranids better and hopefully play them better. Hey, me too, man. I'm hoping to get better as well. Here's my list, and I want to play in the next game of our league. Whoa! Gilliman says, Jordan briefly abandoned his sanity today and ranked higher specs below Barbgaunt's in his tier list. He later consulted a wise psychophage and corrected his lapse in judgment. Thank you, Gilliman. I appreciate that. So that means we are at 11 out of 15 super chats. And then we'll grab a 5 more list and rate 5 more lists. Ryan says, man, I'm a Space Marine player and just getting into NIDS. I've somehow managed to end up with 60 Termagants, 20 Hormagaunts, a Screamer, 2 Wing Primes, 5 Barbgaunts, 1 Neuro Tyrant, 11 Neurogants, and 6 Von Ryans. What my next step would be building up my army. Ryan, I hate to do this, but I do have a video you could watch. It's a video from a while ago. It's how to start a Tyranid army. It looks like you have pretty much 2 Leviathan boxes, or at least 1 Leviathan box, and maybe the starter box. Go to that video, and I go through step by step what units that I would buy to add up to 2,000 points. I think the points are going to be a little bit shifted because I made it around December 2024, but I still think that it's pretty good quality and progression in there. I appreciate you chatting. I found the hard specs on a burner account. Yeah, it's not Gilliman. Gilliman, how come you didn't Gilliman, how come you didn't make your account hard specs? I feel like that would have been a good shout. And anyways, here's Invictus. Here's the list that I want to play in the next game of our league. My previous list, -1 Maleceptor, -1 T-Fex, and put in the Tyranid Warriors as VRL and more Gargoyles / Hormagaunts. Oh, it was taken? Dang. Alright, we're Invasion Fleet. Broodlord, Hive Tyrant. We're still going to be down. We have 30 extra points. Cool. A Winged Tyranid Prime and a Neuro Tyrant. Gargoyles, Hormagaunts. This is I feel like this is actually a lot of chaff for 1,500 points. Or, oh no, it's 2,000 points. Somebody said 1,500 points in chat and I was briefly distracted. Even for 2,000 points, I'd probably go down 1. But we'll see. What else? Biovore, Exocrine, Gene Stealers, Lictor, Maleceptor, Tyranid Warriors, and then VRLs as well as the Zoanthropes. Oh, we have the Winged Prime. Okay. So, Gilliman, you should have done that one. Come on. But Tentacled Maw 69. That's the best username anyone could ever come up with. I'm disappointed. All right. I don't hate the Tyranid Warriors, but I don't love them, you know? So that would be 245 points if we cut the Tyranid Warriors. He said -1 Maleceptor and a T-Fix. Okay. I actually like Maleceptor and Tyrannofex in this list more than I do like Tyranid Warriors and VRL. So what I would probably do is just go back to that, maybe. I don't know, but that's different playstyles. Oftentimes, in terrain layouts, there's going to be one super safe area to stage your units. Let's look. Now that I have the terrains pulled up, okay. So obviously in terrain layout 1, you're going to want to stage your melee unit here, right? I guess you could stage here as well and maybe here. But like this is your super state one. Terrain 2. This one actually has 2 staging points, so that's pretty good. Maybe do Gene Stealers here and Tyranid Warriors here or something like that. This, don't play on this layout. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have two good staging points. Kind of good staging points. This is not a good one. I just proved myself wrong in the live stream. I would probably wager that another shooting unit is probably better. I do like you have the Maleceptor. I like the Tyranifex, man. I would probably just go back to a Tyranifex and an Exocrine. So if we get rid of the Tyranid Warriors, right? That means we're at 215 points. So this is 245. Yeah, I already did that. We probably just put the Tyranifex back in. I just haven't had too much success with the Tyranid Warriors and Invasion Fleet because they're just hard to get places, you know? And then we're at 45 points, and then this is going to be the Rupture Cannon, of course. And then I also think... I'm trying to figure out which unit we want to get rid of to fit. I think we actually have to take both of these. So we do go down Von Ryans, go down Hormagaunt, so that's 135. So that's 180 points. 180 points, and we're looking for 140 points. We just put like a third Exocrine is pretty good right there, and then you have 40 points left over, and then you can just do a Pyrovore. Our specs gives best specs. Is this Botanical Maw 69? I can't see you because of the way it is. Okay, all right, that was pretty quick. That was pretty good. All right, so we have we only need 3 more super chats before 5 more lists. That's pretty yeah, that's pretty good username. All right, I think that's where we're landed on this. Do some changes. Triple Exocrine is super good, and then Maleceptor, 1 Zoanthrope squad, 1 Tyranifex squad, and then enough chaff to clear off objectives. Seems very, very good. Seems great. Seems like a good time. Moving right along. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we only have 5 lists left. And then probably another 5. It's looking like we're going to get to another 5. I went too far. Shanedennis. He says, hey, Jordan, awesome content, and I love the community. I love the community, too. You guys are awesome. You're a great community. Got a nice top 8 finish. The most recent GT I went to was close to a 4-1 finish, but made a few misplays. Yeah, it happens. However, playing into Vanguard or Gladius, Ultramarines is a bit tricky for Tyranids, I feel. I would agree. I know generally you are more a fan of double T-Fex over Zoanthrope Brick. The local meta feels either Horde-type armies or Ultramarine Gilliman span. The diversity from Zoanthropes just feels really good. Maybe not using the T-Fex properly, however, when there are not many tanks on the board to justify having to. No, I mean, I can't argue with anything you said. That seems 100% correct. So we're Invasion Fleet. And this is from the before times. So we're going to be at 30 points. We have a Broodlord, Hive Tyrant, with full melee. Sweet. Adaptive Biology, Neurotyrant, Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, Termagants. Interesting. I would be interested to see the use of the Termagants. You know? Biovore, 5 Gene Stealers. Do we have a Broodlord? We do have a Broodlord. Okay. So I'm probably, like, my knee-jerk reaction is just to take the 30 points, cut the Termagants, and just make this a 10-man, and then we're Bish-Bash on our way, right? Because we're exactly at 2,000 points. The before times. Double Lictor, Zoanthropes, Exocrine, Malceptor, Norn Emissary, Tyrannifex. Tyrannifex with a Rupture Cannon, of course. Yeah, this is super cool. And I think we just do a couple of changes. I actually do like one Tyrannifex, one Zoanthrope squad. Seems pretty cool. The only reason why I value double Tyrannifex over Tyrannifex Zoanthropes, just in my personal opinion, is because as soon as Zoanthropes lose a model, their efficiency goes down, right? However, it takes a lot to bring down a Tyrannifex, and he can still be shooting for most of the game. That's why I do it. In addition, like, the versatility is good. However, Tyranids are really good at killing things that the Zoanthrope's blast profile wants to kill, right? So strength 7, AP 2, D3 damage. That's fine. However, you have your Exocrines, right? You have your Gene Stealers, you have your Lictors, you have your Malceptors, and honestly, even the Norn is good at activating into that unit profile. So my thing is, I would rather have a bully threat like a Tyrannifex just move up the board, as opposed to being extremely cagey with my Zoanthropes, you know? But Zoanthropes have a great Overwatch threat as well. And then the versatility does come into play quite often. So I will give you that. Now, we got to make sure, this is what I would do. We got to cut this Termagant squad. I don't really think the Termagants are doing a whole lot for you. Then we have 90 points. I will say one thing without a doubt that I think you got to have is this 5-man squad of Gene Stealers should be upgraded to a 10-man. And I talked a lot about, so we're going to have 15 points left over. I talked a lot earlier in the stream about setting up heroic interventions with Gene Stealers and everything like that. If you have a Norn Emissary and a Malceptor, those are very good targets to kind of like cage behind and then threaten a pretty good heroic intervention. Is there any room in the list for 10 more points so that we could get, or for 5 more points so that we could get that squad of Hormagaster Gargoyles? I don't think so. It's a pretty good list. I would personally probably want my 3rd Exocrine as opposed to the Malceptor. And this is at 50. We have 15 points left over. That would give us 50 points. And you have 30 points left over, so it's kind of awkward. No, I think at this point you just give perfectly adapted to the Broodlord. And then you can reroll charges or reroll an invulnerable save or what have you. But yeah. Sweet. Before we get to this next list, just another reminder, everybody. People that have joined, liking the stream helps the stream quite a bit. We are also partnering with our friends at Secondhand Geek. We're giving away 3 different Norn Emissary Noon boxes. So if you want to get a free Norn Emissary, all you need to do is click the affiliate link down below and list anything from your pile of shame. Any like Warhammer model, even bits work. List it on their site for sale, and you're automatically entered to win a free Norn Emissary. Pretty cool. Let's see what David has to say. Greetings from Spain, Jordan. First of all, I love your channel. Hey, thanks, man. I love your comment. You do great work for the Hive Mind. Appreciate it. The idea of this list is to saturate it with lethal impacts of the Barbgaunts. 32 attacks. Wow. Chat's going to go crazy. Barbgaunts mentioned. 32 attacks with around 8. Botanical Maw, actually, we covered that early on the stream. I don't think you can list Candyland. Fortunately. That'd be funny. 32 attacks with around 8 lethals per unit. Yeah. And other shooters like the dual-barreled Carnifexes. Wow. I'm loving this list already. This sounds sweet. What I'm not entirely sure about is whether I went too far by adding 2 Hive Tyrants to maintain the buffs. Maybe I should remove it and add old one-eye to accompany Carnifex. Yes, absolutely do that. Or add another Broodlord team with Gene Stealers, or even more firepower, Exocrine Rupture. There's a lot of options. It would also lower the chance of trying to add Zoanthropes or Psychophages to protect the Barbgaunts in addition to the Venomthropes. I've used it in 1,000 point games with Synaptic Nexus and using the Irresistible Will stratagem. Reroll a hit and wound, and the Barbgaunts can wipe out almost an entire high armor unit with a bit of luck. But I don't know. Grab your 5 Norn list? Well, we have reached our super chat goal. Jacob, since you put us over, when we get to that point, I will look for your name and I will grab your 5 Norn lists. Thank you, everybody, for reaching. We're going to do 5 more lists after this. Incredible. That's amazing. Oh, David, you're here. What's up, dude? An entire higher armor unit with a bit of luck. Yeah, the thing I don't like about... Oh my god, it is 30 Barbgaunts. Oh, man, dude. Okay, that's sweet. The thing I don't like about Barbgaunts is they just don't have any AP. Like, 110 points is very cheap for them, for what they can do. However, with no AP, it's kind of tough, you know? But we have 2 Hive Tyrants. Okay, so right away, this list is going to be up 60 points, because this is, again, from the before times. And I think, David, I'm sorry, we're probably cutting down on some Barbgaunts, dude. Dude, if you're running 30 Barbgaunts and you're having a great time, you should run 30 Barbgaunts. Full stop. So we're going to cut 1 Hive Tyrant. So that's going to, I got to make sure I don't discount it twice. Oh, I just add, how do I do this? All right, so I should just do this. Cut the Hive Tyrant, 255 points. Oh, no, but it's going to go up. So it'd be 285 points. Yes. And then another 30 points. So 315 points. Sick. Okay. Yeah, we're cutting the Alien Cunning Hive Tyrant. I also think... Okay. So a couple things, just because we have a lot of things going on, and I just want to make sure that we get where we want to be. Next thing, you're right. If you're running the DAC effects brick, you gotta have Old One Eye. This turns this unit up to like 11, man. So that's gonna bring us down to 165 points. And now that we do that, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure we necessarily need the Venomthropes. I guess you're hiding your... My idea with Barbgaunts is if you're going to bring them from strat reserves. They can get angles that maybe some of your other things can't get, and then they also slow down units from getting into your main big castle with your Carnifexes and your Exocrines. So, like, positioning them in that way to also have the stealth and cover from Venomthropes might be kind of tough. So I'm going to go ahead and cut Venomthropes as well. And it's going to be 235 points. Botanical Moss says, cut Hive Tyrant, add 2 Psychophages. Boom. Done. I do think... Listen. I think 20 Barbgaunts is probably where you want to be. If you're living your life like this, try 20. Because look, now you have 345 points to play with. And what you could also do is do 1 10-man squad. Do 1 like big mega squad that's just going to mess somebody up. And then two 5-man squads. You know? I like that, because then you can absolutely do the strat reserve thing that I was talking about with them. So this unit is going to be chilling with the Hive Tyrant, and then these 2 units can be put in reserves. Seems pretty sweet. Now let's look at things that we have to add. This is actually going to wrap up pretty quickly. So this is not a bad list. It's not bad at all. Because we have Gene Stealers as like a counter punch. We have Old One Eye as another counter punch. This is actually kind of sweet. I don't hate this at all. A very easy thing that we can do. I think we actually unironically keep the Neurolictor because like Barbgaunt's being able to punch up into armigers or something might be sweet. So with the last 345 points, very easy swap. We create another Carnifex. No, what did I do? We create another Tyrannifex. And then we have another Exocrine. Easy peasy. Boom. I think we've kept the spirit of the list. Only thing we are down on is we don't have a secondary like screening unit, but this is pretty sweet. Oh, Synaptic Linchpin? Okay. So what I would do, I just feel like Synaptic Linchpin is honestly... Oh, we don't have a Neurotyrant. Yeah, that's true too. You could cut Synaptic Linchpin and like a Barbgaunt squad for an additional screening unit. I think that might be a good idea. In addition, really, if you cut these two Barbgaunts and put it in a Neurotyrant, that would probably be very good as well. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's a pretty good place for this list. Seems pretty sweet. Keep up the Barbgaunt dream, you know? Seems very, very cool. And I love that you're playing Carnifexes with Old One Eye. I think that's a sweet unit. I need to play it more. This is one of my favorite YouTube usernames of all time. Of course, behind Betentacled Moss 69. This is Self-indulgent Duck. Thank you, Self-indulgent Duck. Again, this is from the before times. Oh, you're welcome, David. Yeah, I hope I didn't break your heart by cutting your Barbgaunts. So we're going to be an additional 30 points, of course. He says, hey, I just wanted to say that I love the channel. I want to make this list semi-swarm and inspired by Zerg from StarCraft 2. A bunch of the little bugs with some medium and large bugs to deal damage. I want to keep the idea of a bunch of little dudes on the field. I didn't build and paint them for nothing. Touche, touche. So we're Invasion Fleet. 2,000 points. Cool. Let's take a look. Broodlord, Hive Tyrant, Neurotyrant, Hormagaunts, and then 60 Termagants. I think 60 is the right idea. Okay. Then we have Zoanthropes. Only one Tyrannifex. That's pretty good, though. You have Tyrannifex and then Zoanthropes. They kind of do the same role. And then the Raveners. Lictor, Gene Stealers, Exocrine. This list kind of... So, with the Raveners not being there... So we cut the Raveners, of course, because that unit doesn't really exist in the way that I think this person wanted it to anymore. So we have 75 points to play with. We actually have 105 points to play with because of the Hive Tyrant, excuse me. And then 2 Lictors. Here's another list that I think, like, maybe we do actually want one Neurolictor to +1 wound is pretty good when you have 60 Spine Fists. And the Spine Fist being twin linked also seem pretty great as well. So what I would do, I think 2 Lictors is it might be the right number for right now. I could be wrong. Taking 20 points, making one of the Lictors a Neurolictor. We have 85 points left over. And then there's 2 things that you could do. One thing you could do... Oh, that was weird. One thing you could do is just put a Gargoyle Squad in, and then you're done. You know? You could also do Venomthropes. I think Venomthropes are... You're probably going to want to do Venomthropes. Venomthropes are probably a must-have to help with all of these Termagants. And then do just something a tiny bit goofy and add like perfectly adapted on this Broodlord. Boom. That's it. It's rapid fire. That's pretty good. I think there is some play with this list. I think, you know, funnily enough, Imperial Knights probably have a hard time competing with this list. Legitimately, I think they might have a hard time competing with this list because they just literally cannot kill this many models. So it could be a good idea. Who knows? It's not necessarily the way that I like to play, but I do think I do think there might be a spot for it. It's probably not the best in the meta, but who knows? Moving right along, when I get to those 5 bonus lists, we have the Killer 458. He says, "Hey all, started collecting some nids with my buddy, got into the lictors, and he loves the big old boys. Here's our combined list." Oh, so you're both collecting. Oh, so you like lictors and your buddy loves... Gotcha. Sweet. Jacob, that would be quite a goal. Maybe we'll post that next week. We did it once. It was Tyranids versus Orcs, and we did beans. And I brought a Turvagon, and it was... I think we got through 3 turns. This is Invasion Fleet. So we have Old One-Eye, Neurotyrant, Parasite of Mortrex, Winged Hive Tyrant, interesting, with Adaptive Biology. Seems good. And Hive Guard. Actually, I don't know if I still probably have my pewter one somewhere. I'd have to dig them up and repaint them. No battle line, but it's probably because, oh my gosh, I see exactly why it is. We're triple lictor, triple neurolictor. Oh my word. Wow. Zoanthropes, Carnifexes, and then I think these Carnifexes, you probably want to do the full shooty. So you want to do double Death Spitters on each of them, and you have the Bioplasma, and then I think you're missing the Spine Banks as well. But 2 Exocrines and a Norn Emissary. Is Parasite in there too? Oh, sheesh. Parasite. Good job, Parasite Chan. Making an appearance. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are like... are you like... It almost seems like Two-Headed Giant with like Magic the Gathering for Tyranids. If you guys are both playing at the same time, and you're just like combining your list, this seems perfectly from what you want to do. You have all of the lictors. You have Parasite Chan. Although, if we're being more on theme with lictors, shouldn't the Parasite be a Death Leaper? Who Send just noticed that the Hive Tyrant is 225 points. So we should have 30 points left over. Good shout. Good idea. I mean, but that doesn't really give us anything. Because, like, if you guys are literally putting your units together and playing a game, then this seems perfect for what you want to do. You have mission play through your 6 lictors. You have your big monsters. You have Zoanthropes. You know, and you're not really running bad units at all. You're missing a Tyrant effect, so... But, like, if your opponent steps on an objective that 3 Neurolictors are going to be covering, odds are they fail one of their battle shocks, right? You know? Yeah. I agree. You need Death Leaper for maximum licked. I don't think you change anything. If that's how you guys are playing, then indeed, power to you. I think that's awesome. And of course, a Norn Emissary, because it's probably one of the best models that we have, you know? All right, folks. I am going to grab those 5 lists, including Jacob's list with 5 Norn Emissaries. I'm also going to start another Super Chat goal. Should I do another one to just like continuously? Maybe not. We'll see. Chat, if you want the opportunity to extend this long stream even longer, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to go on to be right back while I grab those 5 lists for us. See you soon. back. That was quick. Maybe. Who knows? All right. Awesome. Jacob34 was a person that sent us into this bonus list. He says, also, thank you everybody who supported the channel. Also, I think Reem, was it Reem or NG Reed? Were you a member when stream started, or did you just become a member while we were doing that so that your list would get pulled? It's pretty smart. And thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Hey Jordan, the bugs are amazing, and I'm glad the Hive Mind sent you to help with our list. I wanted to make a list that looked intimidating. I also really wanted to see if I can make the warriors work somehow with the prime and enhancement with melee warriors. It's a simulation swarm. Cool. So we're a Tyranid prime with parasitic biomorphology. So that's the one that buffs the number of attacks or the strength of the attacks. And then if you kill something within within a harvester unit, then you get an additional attack. We have 3 Hormagaunts, 1 Biovore, 6 Tyranid warriors with the melee weapons, 2 Ripper Swarms, Norn Assimilator, and then triple Norn Emissary and a Psychophage. Awesome. Sounds good, Reed. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Cool. I mean, this is gross. You know, double Assimilator and then triple Norn Emissaries. And here's what I think a lot of people would be tempted to like spread out and have Norns on each objective. What I would think that you do when playing this list is you have 1 Norn Assimilator and 1 Norn Emissary on your expansion objective, right? So just the objective that is closest to you. And then you have double Norn Emissary and an Assimilator on the center objective, right? What are they going to do? You have OC45, you have a whole bunch of T11 monsters that are healing each other, and they have 5-up, feel no pains, and you just kind of like wreck them, you know? I think that would be sweet. Now, however, I think the best way, and then with the 6 Hormagaunts, you stage them every single turn and make sure that you can jump them up and take the objective that your opponent has as a natural expansion. And you just do that every single turn. And so you are going to get like a ridiculous amount of primary, and they're going to get a ridiculous amount of not getting primary. That's what when I look at this list, that's the scheme, you know? Unfortunately, I'm not sure a winged Tyranid prime and warriors necessarily benefit this. Something that comes to mind is like a winged hive tyrant with instinctive defense. So it can fight first as just another thing that could be really good to create problems on the objectives. So this would be 240 points. Winged tier. Is a hive tyrant 175 or 170? I always forget. Let's see. It's 170. And so what did I say? That would be 140 points. And then you have 70 points left over. Oh, yeah. I think here's what you do. Right? Like, that's cool. I think that is cool. However, I'm just not sure it's going to be perfect for what... Right. So there's 150... So 140 points. And then we do Winged Hive Tyrant. And it doesn't have any enhancement. It's just 170 points. And then you could put like 2 Pyrovores in. You know? But yeah. Yeah. I like that. I think that's fine. Regardless. Very sweet. And I think that the Assimilators healing the Norns is just kind of gross. I think after my ATC trip, I'm just going to be running a bunch of Stompy Boys. I think I'm just going to be running a bunch of monsters and a bunch of Norn Emissaries and everything, and just wreaking havoc. You know, that's the game I want to play. You know, But this seems sweet, Jacob. That's a great... Seems like a good list to add at Haruspecs. I would agree, too, if you had the points. You could also do something like make this just a Neurotyrant so you get better shadows. So that would be 105 points, so you would have 65 points, 135 points. Yeah, you could do that. So instead of these two, getting a Neurotyrant with what is it? The 10-point enhancement that increases your range to 9 inches. I think that would be very good as well. But this seems sweet, man. This seems really fun to play. I want to play that. That seems good. Moving right along. Ozolith, member, the second list. But he went on and he submitted a list while we were doing it, and he's a member. He supports the stream. So I pulled it real quick for him. This is Subterranean Assault, and this is his melee version, I believe. So let's take a look. We've got Old One Eye, we have Swarm Lord, a Neurotyrant, and then a Trigon Prime. That's our characters. Seems pretty cool. I like the direction already. We have 2 Gargoyle Squads, a Biovore, 2 Lictors, 5 Raveners. Okay, this is good. Haruspecs, Psychophage, Screamer Killer, and then Trigon. Seems pretty sweet. I am, however, a big proponent. I really, really, really think that like one of Zoanthrope is very good in this. I'm trying to see if we can fit. I would be interested to see if we cut a Psychophage, right? And this might make people sad, right? So just be prepared. We cut a Psychophage, and we cut... did we cut Old One Eye? No, I think we cut a Screamer Killer. So that's 245 points. And then we have a 6-man Zoanthrope squad. I just think the 6-man Zoanthrope squad is probably the best unit in the detachment. Like, hands down. Because the reroll ones to hit, they hit on 2s. Very gross. And then you want some kind of range to go along with all of this business. You have 2 Lictors. You have 45 points exactly. So this might be a case for like, okay, maybe we actually throw Neurogons in. It's either... I think this is weird to me that I'm saying this, but I think I probably like Neurogons over a Pyrovore in this. Because you just have the stratagem that denies cover. And you just do that all the time. It's very, very good. Ozolith, this list is sweet. I hope you're getting some games with it. You could also cut this Trigon. No, I think the Trigon is correct over the second Screamer Killer. I will say you have to baby these Raveners. You got to be very careful with your Raveners because they're going to be pretty much your source of uppy downy in creating those burrows. So make sure that they are not able to be sniped out very early or easily. Moving on to Reed, who is a recent member. And then after this, we have 2 more lists. Awesome. Cool. He says, oh, my wife is texting me. Hey, Jordan, I've been watching your videos for a few months now, but still am fairly new as a player. Played 3 matches so far. Awesome. And this is my first attempt at a non-invasion fleet list. A lot of this list came from my invasion fleet. Dropped 3 zones, 3 ranged warriors, squad of barbs, 20 termagants, Psychophage, and swapped a hive tyrant for wing type tyrant. And I have another 10 gene stealers and 10 gargoyles to play around with if you have any recommendations on things to swap around. We'll have Gene Stealers led by the Broodlord, and the Winged Tyranid Prime is tentatively leading a squad of 10 Gargoyles with Chameleonic. I know it might be better on Winged Type Tyrant, but I like the idea of a mobile squad that always at least has benefit of cover. Okay, and it's very incredibly named Shoots and Lictors. It's pretty good. I like that. Sin says, how much do Zoanthropes need Neurotarn? I think you have to run them together. I think just the benefit of getting +1 hitting on 2s is very, very good. Especially in Subterranean Assault, hitting on 2s, reroll 1s. That's where you want to be, in my opinion. But let's take a look at this. We're at 1985 points, so we're already 15 points. And then is this the before times? No, this is the actual times. Wow, maybe we've caught up. We have a Winged Hive Tyrant. Neuronode. Oh, sorry. I always get confused. Death Leaper. Broodlord with Neuronode. Winged Hive Tyrant with Hunting Grounds. Winged Tyranid Prime. And then he's attaching. So I don't love the idea of the gargoyles. Because the gargoyles kind of like... I don't know. I do love the idea of gargoyles. However, I don't love the idea of the gargoyles attached to the Tyranid Prime. Because oftentimes you use the gargoyles to go out to, you know, cancel an objective and then they die. Or they screen, they move block, and then they die. So like adding another 80 points onto them to maybe have them still die, it seems not the best, I would say. But we'll keep looking. 20 gargoyles, Biovore, 10 Gene Stealers, Double Lictor, Neurolictor, Von Ryan's Leapers, 3 Zoanthropes, 1 Carnifex, Excrin, Tyrannifex. Okay. So I know this is... What else did you say? Drop 3 Zoans, 3 Ranged Warriors, Squad of Barbs. Okay. You have 10 Gene Stealers and 10 Gargoyles to play around with. Yeah, Sylvania, that sounds correct. Like a 97% chance to hit with the Zoanthropes. And any one that you re-roll, it has a chance to be another 6 for the Lance. Or not the Lance. I guess it is called the Narrow Lance, but a lethal for that profile. So I would say with what you have, let's try and fit in another Broodlord and another Gene Stealers. And then we're going to cut just some stuff. We also kind of want to throw in a Neurotyrant. I'm kind of surprised you don't have a Neurotyrant. But let's see. So I'm going to cut Winged Tyranid Prime. We don't have melee warriors, so that's fine. We have 80 points. Then we probably cut the Zoanthropes as well. I don't think they're a bad choice. I just think you want to have them attached to a Neurotyrant and to be a 6-man. So we got 180 points. And then we're going to cut the Carnifex as well. I just don't think the Carnifex quite fits in this detachment. So 295 points. Right? Yes. Okay. Super easy kind of stuff. Things we were wanting to do is we want to have a Neurotyrant and we want to have another squad of Gene Stealers. So first, I think the second squad of Gene Stealers is probably more important. I think they're very good. And we're going to do another Broodlord. And that's 80 points. Man, I love my Gene Stealers. Like, I really do. So that's 230 points total. 65 points left over. So we need 45 points to include a Neurotyrant, or 65 points. Honestly, I don't think a Neurotyrant is a absolute must. Well, no, it is an absolute must with the Neurolictor. I was about to get lazy. So we cut Von Ryan's. Yeah. And that's going to put us at 135 points. And we put a Neurotyrant in. And that'll put us to 30 points. Oh, were we also had 15 points. So it'll put us at 45 points. Cool. So 45 points, the last thing that we probably do. Neurogaunt time. Owen, thank you so much for the super chat. Haven't had much luck finding a Neurotyrant in second hand. Otherwise, would totally have it. Wow. Really? Okay. Dang. I was actually thinking Pyrovore, but Owen, since you're incredible super chat, we obviously have to put Neurogaunts in. Hey, do the Pyrovore. I think it's a better option. Yeah, thank you so much, Owen, for that. That was incredible. Let's take Reed. Let's take a look. You know, and you don't necessarily. Let's do this. We're gonna go. Our wonderful sponsor at Secondhand Geek. Let's see if we can find a Neurotyrant. Now, people don't go buy. Oh, really? They don't have a Neurotyrant? That's crazy. I know my view is kind of scuffed. Let's see. Tyranids. Hive Tyrant. Hormigaunt. Gene Stealers. Neurogaunts. Norn Emissary. Did you really buy a Neurotyrant from Secondhand Geek 2 days ago? Dang. Yikes, because I was like, I definitely saw one on there. Interesting. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, this is a good list. You can also go to, you know, like eBay might have them. It's kind of crazy that you can't buy them separate from a Screamer Killer. I agree. Moving right along, Reed. I hope my thoughts kind of helped. I definitely would not attach the gargoyles to the Winged Tyranid Prime. I just don't, because then your Prime gets easier to kill, and I don't know, you know. $200. Oh. Dang. $200 for a Neurotyrant is kind of crazy, man. Our second to last list of today is Call Sign Dozer. Hey, he says, "Hey Jordan, I appreciate all the work you guys are doing and love the channel." Thanks, man. Recently got out of Magic and bought into Tyranids. Yeah, similar experience. This is my current list, however. I also have 40 Termagants, a Screamer Killer, Winged Prime, 2 more Ripper Swarms. Only kit I've built is the Cyclophage so far. Cool. Or Simulation Swarm. Death Leaper, Neurotyrant with Biophagic Flow. That's what I was talking about. Okay, and this is from the before times with the Winged Hive Tyrant, so we're going to be up 30 points. Just going to add it here before I forget. All right. Uh-oh. Folks. We didn't pay the tax. I don't have a Biovore. All right. I hate to do this. You gotta have a Biovore. Biovore is crucial. It's crucial for Tyranid. So we're gonna be negative 20 points, actually. So we need to find some room for it. Let's take a look. Winged Hive Tyrant with Instinctive Defense is a pretty spicy pick. Parasite and Mortrex is a spicy pick in most circles, although in this community, I think they'd say it's the perfect pick. Double Neurolictor. Okay, so right off the bat, well, let me go through it. Double Neurolictor, Norn Assimilator, Norn Emissary, Cyclophage, Ripper, T-Fex. Wow. Oh, and this went up 15 points. Dang it. So we're at negative 20. We're at negative 35. Yeesh. Okay. How many points is Instinctive Defense? It's 15, right? All right. Do we cut Instinctive Defense? Double Norn Emissary is pretty like... I think we cut one Norn, right? And then you just double objective the Assimilator and one Emissary. I think that's what we do. So 260 points. That means this is going to be 225 points. Okay. And we did cut Instinctive Defense. I think we downgrade both of these Neurolictors to Lictors. That's going to give us 40 extra points. And then I think we do a very cool 1-2. Right? 65. So this is some beef in here. I think we want... If we just did like double horror specs and then put Instinctive Defense back on, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, because the Harspexes can like heroic into the Norns and stuff. Rippers are sweet. Tyrannifexes I'm not super sold on in Assimilation Swarm, but I don't think they're inherently bad. Seems good. Seems like a fun list. I'm here for the Norn. The age of the Norn. I'm hoping that's true, you know? Our last list of today. Thank you everybody for hanging out. This is an extra long stream. I appreciate you guys super chatting and chilling. I am playing this Wednesday with my Invasion Fleet list that I'm taking to ATC this weekend. It does have a Norn Emissary in it. I'm playing against Admech, which I don't think is going to be a good matchup for me. So it might not be a good game for Tyranids. I might be put in Taraxi jail very quickly. Who knows? Into the Fire is our last list. Thank you for submitting. He says, "Hi, Jordan. First, I would like to say thank you to you and the guys for encouraging positivity in the community." Awesome. Yeah, we love doing that. "I'm really glad I found your channel as I want to learn Tyranids and get good with them. I would like to try Vanguard Onslaught and figure out how to do well with it. This list has models I currently own, but I am okay continuing to grow my NID collection. I have several things in here I'm sure you will want to pull out." Yeah, maybe. They're here to help trigger more Battle Shock tests. Either way, thanks for your help. Sweet. Vanguard Onslaught, we have a great start of Triple Broodlord. Love that. Stalker is an okay enhancement, but we're probably going to be looking at removing it. In addition, Wing Type Tyrant, we're going to be an additional 30 points because this is, again, from before the data slate. Triple Broodlord, Death Leaper, Neuro Tyrant, Wing Type Tyrant. That is the character suite that I have. Of course, besides that, the Raveners and stuff. 3 Genestealer squads, double Lictor, double Neurolictor, a Screamer Killer, Von Ryans, and Zoanthropes. This is not bad. What did I said? 30 points? What I think we should try and do is get enough points to... Yeah, we're going to cut Stalker as well. To maybe fit a Ravener brick, which is kind of crazy. That's probably going to end up us cutting both of these, the Von Ryans as well as the Screamer Killer. You'd go for a Trigon Vanguard instead of a Screamer Killer. I think he's trying to play off of the Screamer Killer with the Neurolictor, but I do see what you're saying. So let's see what we got here. This is going to be 285 points. So it's going to be 325 points. And we're going to put the Ravener package in. So we have Raveners here, which are 125 points. And then we're going to do the Hyper Adapted here. Which is 165 points. So that adds up to 290 points. And then we're going to have 30 points left over. Do you already have Neuronode? Oh, we don't have Neuronode. Yeah, you just do Neuronode. Or you do Hunting Grounds, depending on your meta. Probably Neuronode, though. I think Neuronode is 20 points. And then you can add Stalker back on to 1 Broodlord. Easy peasy. I do like this idea of like the 3 melee bricks or the 4 melee bricks with Raveners, and then the Zoanthrope squad to just also clear screens and stuff. Seems pretty sweet. You know what else seems pretty sweet? You guys. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. This was a great one. I appreciate all the support we've been given. We were past 8,000 subscribers. We're 8,100 subscribers as of today. It seems absolutely incredible. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, do all those cool things. If you don't have a comment to comment at all, comment the word coffee mug. That'd be sweet. I'd love to see a coffee mug army of all the people who made it through the entire stream. Thanks again, everybody, and I hope to see you Wednesday. See you soon. Bye.